my gay boys. I mean, hello, they're the reason I live, right? And in our segment that we call Dear FayWhat, I provide my expert lesbian knowledge and my vast experience as a living, breathing gay boy in a lesbian's body to help my fellow gay boys. This week, Lost in the Crowd, but Gay and Proud sent us an email. Hi, Faye and Hottie. That's you. I'm a huge fan of yours, like huge. I watch Queer News Tonight. I live for the FayWhat show, and honestly, I kind of wish you were my cool gay auntie. Okay, I mean, I can do that. All right, cool. Okay, I need your advice, and I don't know who else to ask. I'm a 24-year-old gay guy, and I recently moved to Fort Lauderdale for work. I thought being in a bigger city would make it easier to find my people, build my chosen fam, maybe even fall in love with someone who doesn't ghost me after 3 dates. But here's the gag. I feel more alone than ever. I tried the apps, ugh. I've gone to a few local gay bars. It was awkward. And even joined the queer dodgeball league. Yes, I got hit in the face twice. But I still feel like I'm just floating, watching everyone else have their crew and their place, while I'm the outsider. How do I find my queer community when I feel like I don't fit the usual scene? And how do I stop feeling like I'm too much or not enough at the same time? Faye, I need some of your magic. Help. Love, lost in the crowd, but gay and proud. What do you think, Boo? It's about to flow.
It's difficult out here in these streets.
I'm so glad you said that.
I'm just not. I'm blessed now to be 40 and
gorgeous.
And gorgeous.
I'm sorry, that helps a lot.
It was work to do this, though.
I didn't just wake up that way, Mm-hmm.
But to find my tribe and to have community that loves on me, and to have family and friends, and it's just not easy. I found it very difficult when I lived in so many different places, from Jersey to New York to Georgia. Every time I stepped out, I was like, I didn't find my crew at the bar.
Yeah.
I joined maybe a kickball league or something, and I'm like at ballroom, and I never really, would find my niche. But then I'd find these few people like out and about that I connect with somehow. It was just, I would put myself out there in so many different ways. I don't think there's one answer that just answers this completely. Like, some people find their tribe through the apps. Some people find their tribe through the bars. Some people find their tribe through shared interests, like yoga for me, or being at the beach, or sometimes sports. I play volleyball, and I have found those few people here and there that I always connect with, and they become part of family for me. I can only speak from my experience because it's such a difficult thing to navigate, and my heart goes out. It's not it's not a playbook. It's not a Bible that I could just be like, you do this, you do that.
No.
Everybody has, their own guide, their own way of connecting with people. And I always think, I was just me, And
you found others that were like you, that whatever, like a magnet sort of attracted itself to it. But you got to be patient. And that's the problem. We're not patient.
Yeah, that's another
You know what
thing.
I mean? We really aren't. What I will say is that you're not alone, right? Because I have lived in South Florida now for 25 years off and on. I used to get a contract and come back or whatever, blah, blah. And I remember the first years were awful. And I'm a very outgoing person. I'll talk to whoever. Like, I would talk to the McDonald's drive-thru girl a little longer than I needed to because I had no friends, right?
I needed that connection.
Because I needed that connection, right? Like, I had no friends. The problem with South Florida is that everyone here is from somewhere else, right? So the people who it's easy for are the people who work in big companies that have a lot of employees and you're able to, maneuver that. or you went to school here, right? And if you went to school here, then you know you have people that you went to school with, and those are your tribe, you know, for a lot of parts. But most people move here when they're past that time, right? They're already in their job, in their career. This place doesn't make it easy, right? You know, people are chauvinists. People are, you know, if you're not pretty enough, if you're not skinny enough, all that shit comes into play. I don't want to lie to you, right? It's the truth. I went through it. Jamal went through it. Like, you know, and every place that I moved to ain't no different, right? Because you got to start all over. When I moved to San Francisco, one of the gayest places on earth, I moved to the Castro, and you still had to go through that. You know, you still went to a place and you didn't know the bartender. You didn't know the people, you know. So my thing for you, and what I tell everybody, is join a church. Okay, we are on the campus of a non-denominational queer-ass church, Sunshine Cathedral. Go to this church, meet other queer people, right? Or go to another church, meet other people, right? Whatever kind of denomination you are, go to that church. My second advice for you would be volunteer somewhere. You know, you go volunteer at Impulse. You're gonna meet the dopest people ever. You might end up doing some ballroom. Who knows, right? You know what I mean? Flockfest, go volunteer for them. You're gonna see a bunch of people in Speedos. You know what I mean? Might be what you want to see, right? You might make some friends. It's gonna take time, though.
Yeah. And you know, a part of the conversation, pretty privileged, like people who look attractive. You know, I think people think, oh, it's easy for you to make friends because you're attractive. But usually, like in my journey, I found out that because I look good, people wanted to extract something from me. And that usually was like sex, or just to be around.
Just to be around you.
Just to be around.
Yeah, you're the arm candy.
Yeah, and I could detect that, you know? And I was just like, that feels still uncomfortable. This isn't a friend. Yeah. This isn't someone who I can confide in.
Yeah, and it's not a transaction, because I'm just trying to look for a friend. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like, so it's not transactionary on both sides.
On both sides, right. So I felt I learned, the more authenticity I let out, the more vulnerable I got. I started just attracting just those people who it really doesn't matter to me, like how, but it's how they show up, you know, and that attraction just started. And so I am president of Impulse Group. I invite you to email Faye your information, and then we'll get in contact with you, or go to impulsegroupmiami.org and you can fill out a volunteer form. That's to anybody. And we will reach out to you and invite you to our next meeting. It's a bunch of us, and we're just like-minded fun,
and you're in a safe space. Again, you just never know where your next boyfriend is going to come from, your next bestie is going to come from. You know what I mean? Like, I went into a meeting, I wanted to be part of a committee to put together a gala 6, 7, 8 years ago, and I met my best friend there, right? Who knew that she would be my best friend, right? A strong ally woman, you know?
I mean,
you don't know
we were going to meet. I actually sat on Queer News Tonight as a fluke. Like, the first time I sat on Queer News Tonight, it was like, LaTanya texted me, was like, I can't make it. Can you fill in? And Al fell in love, and then I was like, okay, yeah, I can do this. That was what, 4 years ago?
4 years ago.
4 years ago.
4 years ago. And at that moment, I was like, swipe, you're coming in my bag. Since you're here. I mean,
yes,
you know,
actually, again, that's how it happens.
But you never know.
Literally how it happens.
So you never know. Yeah. You just never know.
You never know.
Right? Go have your morning coffee at Java Boys every morning. You just never know.
You just never know. That is so true.
You know what I mean?
Never know.
Like, you know, join Peak Fitness. You just never know.
Come to Queer Yoga
Club.
Do
yoga.
Actually, we have a Queer Yoga Club last Saturday of the month at Miami Life Center, and a lot relationships have happened, friendships have happened.
That's a place you can show up alone, and it doesn't matter, and you're good.
Yeah, because we welcome you right on in.
You know, and that's the thing. We're always afraid. Like, then you get that first initial, hey, baby, welcome, let's go. And then it goes away.
It goes away.
All of a sudden, you're like, shit, I was worried about that this whole time. You're just holding back the friends that are ready for you. It's just a matter of you doing a little bit more work. I promise it won't be a long time. It really won't be, but it will be to your benefit in so many ways that you'll be like, wow, you know, come to Pride Fest and very little, find some feathers.
And if you see us, just say hi.
Say hi. Like, oh my God, that was me. I was looking for friends. And I bet you if that guy comes up to us at Pride Fest, he's probably followed by a bunch of people at that point. I found my friends. Thank you, Faye and Jay. Just saying. So keep writing and sending in your questions and advice over to FayWhat@happeningout.com because we love to hear from you. This is an important conversation for our LGBTQ+ community. Help us tell these important stories.